Welcome back, guys. I thought I'd do something slightly different today and do a slightly different version of fight analysis in which we actually look at some real fights and do a voiceover. So we're capturing it on screen and we're just talking about it as we go along. I thought it'd be a little bit more interesting. Now, here's the thing about this fight. It's a fight between a MMA guy, or reputedly MMA guy, and a guy that obviously practiced Jeet Kune Do, but he's coming out as a Bruce Lee. You can see from his yellow outfit. So it's always led me to believe, I've got to laugh on that, I'm really sorry. It's always led me to believe that many people say that Bruce Lee would do really well in an MMA fight. So let's find out. I suppose this is one way of recreating Bruce Lee versus an MMA guy. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. But just before I start to break down this fight and just analyse what they were doing or not doing, I just wanted to point out that if you look around, the fight's actually being held in a shopping mall. So, I mean, I don't know how serious you want to take this fight. I mean, I wouldn't take it too seriously because obviously it's a fight in a shopping mall. So, you know, what can I say? It is what it is, right? Usually when you fight, the first thing you do is you move obviously towards your opponent and you start to feel out your space. So if you look, generally, he's not doing too badly, Bruce Lee, or our Bruce Lee guy. The MMA fighter is doing what's typical. He's walking in and he's obviously fading off to his left, our right on the screen. So if you look at it. Now, yeah, right. Well, that says it all. Let's just go back on that, okay? So Bruce Lee opens up with a flying jump kick. What can I say? Really? So feeling out distance with a kick that was probably never going to land, and that's the one thing that you want to take on board. Let's look at this again. So we're just going to go back again just to show you something. So when you're feeling out distance, one of the things you want to know is basically whether you're in striking range, whether you can land those punches, or your punches at least. The one thing you don't want to do, and especially if you're coming into an MMA fight, especially if you're dressed as Bruce Lee, which I really can't comment on that, is open up with a jumping kick. He's watched too many films, far too many films, and that kick was never going to land. You can see that straight away. Okay, so yeah, problem on that straight away. Let's go back to default speed so you can sort of, let's put the sound in as well because I think it's well worth you hearing it. Oh, that doesn't sound good with that, basically. So I'm absolutely speechless on some of this. So he's running away, right? Which is a bad sign straight away for a lack of experience. So he opens up with a jump kick, he's moving away, he's backing away. You can see he's turning away, basically. So his head's over here. Obviously he's been stalked by the MMA guy who's running in, and he's recircling to regain his space, which is the right thing to do. But you're going to see that from this position, from a point of view of cutting off the ring, he's put himself into this corner here, which is quite dangerous because the only way out for him is to go this way. So this fighter, all he needs to do is cut the corner and move off to his right, which basically means that any tools that he's firing off with his right side of his body, so his right arm, his right punch, in other words, his right kick, this guy is essentially going to walk into it. That's what I would suggest if I was cornering this guy, to move off to that side with him, because he's obviously did this original flying jump kick and ended up circling around and ending up on this side. What's the odds that he's going to walk into that side of the strike? So let's see. So he's moving around to that side. As I was saying, because of his positioning where he's put himself, he leaves himself open for a right kick or a right punch. Now, let's just play it out, see what happens. Oh, and that is exactly what I said what was going to happen, right? So, except what the MMA guy could have done is he could have fired that kick as he was moving, but you can see it straight away. Bang. So he moved, Bruce Lee moved over to this direction towards his left, okay, our right on the screen, which walked him straight into this right kick, which is basically what I was saying that you shouldn't do. Simple ring craft. If this guy had a little bit more experience, he would actually be able to deal with that or understand that. I mean, experience in ring fighting is one thing, but experience in fighting is another. Oh, let's take the sound off for that because that doesn't sound good. So watch it again. He walks into the kick, which obviously unsettles him. Let's play this on default because I think it'll be easier just to speed it up. I'm getting used to these controls, by the way, so I'm a little bit slow on it. Let's go back. Let's play again. Right, so he walks into it. Bang. Straight kick. First one. Bang. Second kick. Ooh. So, look. He walked into the first kick because he was circling off in the wrong direction. I've already mentioned that. Which then sets him up, obviously, for a following kick. Now, listen. One of the things you should never do when you are in a ring, almost certainly against a kicker, is actually to back off in a straight line because you leave yourself open for kicks. So he's not only walking back this way, but he's obviously walking into the kick and walking into the follow-up kick. So if you watch it, he goes bang, kicks him, bang, kicks him, and fight's done, folks.